Hi all, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing good. So in today's video, we are going to see how to apply Indian visa through VFS Global. So VFS has started visa services recently. Let's see how to apply visa through them. This is VFS Global USA site. In this, you have to go to apply for visa, start now service. So in this, we have two methods of applying visa. One is applying by post, one is applying by appointment. So in this video, we'll see how to apply by post. Applying by appointment is nothing but applying in person in VFS Consular Center. I'll also make a separate video on how to apply by appointment. For today, we will see how to apply by post. So there are 6 steps to complete your application process. The first step is to identify your visa type. So let's get started first. There are so many visa types to apply for India. You have to choose the right type of visa which is applicable to you. So today's video will concentrate on entry visa because entry visas are more popular around Indian origin people. So if you are an Indian origin and planning to go to India, the best thing is to apply for OCA or entry visa because as you all know, tourist visa are only granted for 30 days nowadays due to COVID restrictions. So please apply OCA if you have more time like 1 or 2 months, or you can go to entry visa, and the processing time for entry visa is mentioned as 2 weeks, but it can take up to 3 to 4 weeks. So please plan accordingly if you have travel plans. So as you all know, entry visa has different duration, but due to COVID restrictions, entry visas are currently offered for 6 months or 1 year duration. So you have to provide only 6 months or 1 year while you are filling your application form. You cannot choose 5-year or 10-year entry visa at current situation. So our visa type is going to be entry visa. It might be 1 year or 6 months entry visa. Now let's go to step 2. Step 2 is begin your application. In step 2, we have to fill our entry visa application in Government of India portal. So once you click this link which is given in VFS site, it will take you to Government of India visa portal. So this is Indian Visa Online Portal. Here you have to click regular or paper visa by Indian Mission. So here we are going to fill our regular or paper visa application. The first thing is country or region where you are applying your visa from. Second is Indian Mission. You have to choose right mission under which you come. If you choose wrong mission, your application might get rejected. Next is your current nationality. Next is date of birth, email ID. Next is expected date of arrival. Your date of arrival need not to be exact one. They are only asking for expected date of arrival. So you can give a tentative one. Next is your visa type. So as I said, we are filling entry visa application in this video. So I'll choose entry visa, and purpose of the visit, you can choose Indian origin, spouse and children if you are an Indian origin. Otherwise, you can choose whichever is applicable to you. So once you have given all the information, you can click continue. So now our application is getting started. So before you start your application, please note down the temporary application ID. So this will help you to retrieve your application if your application is partially filled or if you need to upload your image. So please note down the temporary ID for further verifications. So first we'll start with applicant details. So in applicant's detail, you have to provide given name and surname. Given name is going to be first name and surname is going to be last name. You have to provide these details as it is present in your passport. Next is gender, date of birth. Next is city of birth, country of birth, and citizenship ID. Citizenship ID is going to be your SSN number. This field is mandatory. You have to provide applicant's SSN number. Next is religion and visible identification mark. If the applicant doesn't have any identification mark, then you can provide not applicable. Next is educational qualification. You have to choose applicant's educational qualification. If applicant is minor, you can choose not applicable being minor. Next is your current nationality and your nationality acquired method. You have to choose whether you have acquired a nationality by birth or naturalization. So next is the passport details. You have to provide your current latest passport information here. So your passport number, place of issue, date of expiry and date of issue should match your passport exactly. If you have any other valid passport or if you have held any other valid passport, you have to choose yes and provide those details. Otherwise, you can choose no for this question. If you have a expired passport, you don't have to provide the expired passport info. You only have to provide any other valid passport info here. So I'll choose no for this question and then click save and continue. If you don't wish to continue this application right now, you can choose save and exit temporarily, and then you can pull your application using your temporary application ID mentioned here to complete your partially filled application. Otherwise, if you wish to continue your application, you can click save and continue. Next is applicant's address detail. So in applicant's address detail, you have to provide applicant's present address. You have to provide proof for the same address whichever you are providing here. So please provide the address which you have proof. So if you are filling this application for minor applicant, either of parents can provide their address proof. So once you are done with applicant's address detail, next is going to be applicant's family details. So US passport does not have father's name or mother's name mentioned in it, but you have to provide father's detail and mother's detail as it is present in the birth certificate. You have to provide both the parents' name, nationality, previous nationality, place of birth and country of birth details. So next is applicant's marital status. If you are filling this application form for a minor applicant, you can choose single. So next question, you have to choose whether your grandparents belong to Pakistan national or they belong to Pakistan held area. If yes, you have to provide yes for this question and provide details of those. Otherwise, you can choose no for this question. Next is applicant's occupation details. You have to choose applicant's present occupation detail. If applicant is minor, then you can choose others for this question and then provide not applicable in employer address and employer name. Otherwise, you have to choose your present occupation detail and provide your employer details with address and phone number. If you have any past occupations, please provide details of those also. So if you are in military or semi-military or police or security organization, you have to choose yes and provide details of those organization. Otherwise, you can choose no for this question. Once you are done with applicant's address detail, family detail and occupation detail, you can choose save and continue. So now we have to provide visa details. So the first question is going to be type of visa, which is entry visa, which is already populated. Next is duration of visa. As I said, you have to choose 6 months or 1 year visa. So the duration of visa has to be in months. So you have to provide 6 or 12. I'll choose 12 months. So number of entry is I'll choose multiple entry. In purpose of visit, if you are an Indian origin, you must have selected Indian origin, so it is auto populated. And then expected date of journey, this is also auto populated from the front screen. So next you have to provide expected port of arrival and port of exit in India. These details need not to be the exact one. You have to provide only the expected. So you can change these later on also. So that's it. Our visa details are completed. So next is previous visa category. The first question is, have you ever visited India before? If you have ever visited India before using Indian visa, then you have to choose yes for this question. Otherwise, you can choose no for this question. For example, if you previously had Indian nationality and you have held Indian passport and traveled to India, then you can choose no for this question, because this question is exclusively for visits to India with the Indian visa. So if you have visited India with Indian passport, then you can choose no for this question. Otherwise, you have to choose yes for this question and provide the address and cities you have visited India previously with Indian visa, and you have to provide the Indian visa number and type which you have held previously. Otherwise, please choose no for this question. Have your extension to stay in India has been refused previously? If yes, you have to provide yes for this question and provide the reason for the same. Otherwise, you can choose no for this question. Next is other information. In other information, you have to provide countries visited in last 10 years. So next is SARS country visit details. So if we have visited SARS countries in last 3 years, then you have to provide yes for this question and enter your details. Otherwise, you can choose no for this question. Next is reference detail. You have to provide one reference contact details in India and one reference contact details in US. So the reference persons can be either your friends or relatives from India and US. So please provide 2 reference contact details, one from India and one from US, including their address and phone number. So once you are done, you can click save and continue. So these are some common questions which has to be answered by every individual self. So please go through the questions carefully before you answer them. If you have answered yes for any of these questions, then you have to provide reason for the same. So once you have answered these questions, you have to check the declaration box and click save and continue. So now we have completed our online application. Next, we have to upload our digital photo. If you are not ready with your passport size digital image, then you have to note your temporary application ID and exit the application, and you can come back retrieve your application using the temporary application ID to upload your digital passport size image, or if you are ready with your image, you can upload your photo. So your digital photo has to be in JPEG format, and the maximum size is 10 KB and minimum size is 1 MB, and the minimum dimension of the photo should be 350 into 350 pixels. So please be careful while you upload your digital image. If your digital image does not satisfy these specifications, then you will be having difficulty in uploading your image. So to upload your digital image, you have to click choose file. So once you have selected the file, you have to click upload button. So now your digital photo is uploaded. If you wish to crop and save your photo, drag this box to the center of your photo and then click crop and save. So once you are happy with the image which you have uploaded, you can click save and continue. Otherwise you can upload image again. So now I will click save and continue. So now our application form is ready. If you wish to edit or modify the application form, this is the time to do. Once you have submitted your application, you cannot modify your application. So please go through all the things you have provided in your application twice before you click submit button. If you wish to modify anything in this application, you can click modify button to edit your application. Otherwise, if you are good with the info, then you can click verified and continue button. So once you click verify and continue button, your application will be generated and it will give your application ID. Please note down this application ID. This application ID is different from the temporary application ID. So from here on, you have to use your application ID for further reference. So you can click print form to print your application form. So this is your application form which you have filled in Government of India visa portal. Again, please go through all the details you have provided here. So once you have downloaded and printed your application form, you have to paste one passport size photo on your application form here, and you have to sign the application below your passport size photo, and you have to also sign the application at the last page where it is mentioned applicant's signature. So you have to sign the application two places. One is below the passport size photo and at the last page where it is specified for applicant's signature. So once you are done with this, our step 2 is completed. So next is step 3. In step 3, we have to link our application form in VFS portal. To do this, we have to create a profile with VFS. If you already have a profile, you can use the same profile. Otherwise, you have to choose apply now button and create a new profile. So for registration, you have to click I accept start visa postal application registration process now. So this will take you to visa registration page. If it is taking you to sign in page, click I do not have an account and provide the details to register your email ID. Once you have created or registered your account, you will receive an email notification to activate your account. Please click that activation link to activate your account. So once you are done with that, you will be able to log in into your VFS account. So this is the VFS account. Now the first thing is application details. So here we have to first choose the center or mission to which we are sending the application. So please be careful while choosing your mission. If you choose wrong mission, your application might get rejected. Next is service type. There are two service type. One is emergency and regular. First I'll choose emergency and show you what are the details. Next is your nationality. Next is application category. In application category, you have to choose entry visa, and in period of visa, only 6 months will be populated because it's emergency entry visa, and in number of entries you will have multiple entries, and in visa type you will have regular visa type, and the submission type is going to be postal. If you choose regular in service type, then in application category you can choose the type of visa you are applying for. So I'll choose entry visa. If you are applying in weekend, then you can choose entry visa weekend. So in period of visit also, you will have an option to choose 6 months and 1 year. Unlike when you choose emergency entry visa, only 6 months was populating. Also in number of entries, multiple entries auto populated, and visa type, regular visa type is auto populated, and the submission type is postal. So once you have filled all these information, you can click continue. Here you have to provide the applicant's detail. First is going to be the reference number. So your reference number is nothing but the application number which you have just filled in the Government of India visa portal. So this is your application, and your application number is present at the side here. So this number you have to provide in that VFS portal now. So your application will start with USAWV. So you don't have to provide USAW because it is already provided here. just start from the V. Next, applicant's name. So the first is going to be applicant's given name. Given name is nothing but the first name. If you have any middle name, you can provide it here. Next is last name. In last name field, you have to provide applicant's last name, gender, date of birth, and your passport type, your passport number, and your passport expiry date. So once you have provided all the details, next is contact number. You have to provide your mobile number and email ID. Please provide right contact number and email ID because you might get notification to this email ID and contact number. Once you are done with this, you can click save. So if you are applying visa for more than one family member, then you can choose add another applicant and link their application also here. Otherwise, you can click continue. So once you have linked all the family members who are applying for Indian visa, you can click continue. Next is postal information. We have to add the postal information. Now we are going to choose the courier type. We can choose prepaid or VFS offered courier service. So if you choose VFS offered courier label, it will ask you for the address to which you need to receive your visa. So you have to provide right address. Once you have provided your address, you can choose save. So if you choose prepaid courier type, you have to choose the carrier from which you are taking a written courier label, and you have to enter the incoming courier label number, and the outgoing courier label is going to be your prepaid written courier label number. Please enter all those details here and then click save and click continue. So now we have chosen VFS offered courier service. So the round trip amount is going to be $30, $15 to send your application form along with your original passport, and $15 to receive your passport with the visa stamp in it. So if you are going to choose prepaid label, then you have to provide your own written courier label. So in other available service, you can choose SMS alert for extra $5. If you don't want this service, you can leave it. Otherwise, you can click add to add this service. So if you are good with this, you can click continue. Before you proceed to payment, review your application once again, review all the applicants detail and review your service which you have chosen. So if you have linked more than one applicant, then you have to see details of those here, and you will have the split up for the amount which you are going to pay. So once you have reviewed all the information, you can click I accept terms and condition and click pay online. This will take you to the payment gateway. You have to finish your payment in this payment gateway. So once you have done your payment, you will receive an email notification. So if you don't wish to process online, you can choose money order or banker's check. So once you are done with the payment, your step 3 is completed. Next is step 4. In step 4, we have to mail our physical package to VFS Consular Center with the label which we have generated in step 3, or you can use your own prepaid label. So now let's see what are the supporting documents we have to send along with our physical package. So this is your entry visa checklist. The first is going to be government application form which we have filled in Indian visa portal. So you have to sign this application form. If you are filling this form for a minor applicant, then minor applicant's thumbprint is necessary in both the places. One is below the photo and one is at the last page where it is mentioned as applicant signature. Next is photograph. So you have to paste one photo on the space provided in your application, and you have to also upload the digital photo. It is mandatory. Next is address proof. You have to provide one of the address proof listed below. So please go through the valid list of address proof. So if it is for minor applicant, you can provide either of parents' address proof. So if you are a non-US passport holder and applying Indian visa from US, then you have to provide your copy of valid legal status in US. For example, if you are an UK citizen and you are living in US currently and you need to apply Indian visa from US, then you have to provide legal status document in US. You can provide your valid green card or valid visa or valid EAD or I-797 approval notice. If in case your visa is under extension, then you can provide your I-797 receipt notice. So whatever it is, you have to provide your legal status in US document if you are a non-US passport holder. Next is additional particular forms. So this is the additional particular form. You have to provide applicant's name, passport number and nationality, and specify if you are holding dual nationality. So this additional particular form has to be filled by all the applicants. Once you provide all the details, you have to strike out whichever is not applicable in the declaration part. So you can strike I am applying for OCA card. You can strike this because this is a visa application, and then you have to provide date and place from where you are filling this application, and signature of the applicant is mandatory. If it is for minor applicant, then both the parents has to sign this additional particular form. Next is passport. You have to send your passport along with one photocopy of the passport. Only information and photo pages needs to be printed out. No need to print the entire passport pages. Your passport has to be valid for at least 6 months. Next is proof of renunciation. So if you hold your current nationality by naturalization, then you have to provide your copy of renunciation certificate. So you have to provide either renunciation certificate or surrender certificate. Without this, your visa application will not be processed. So if you don't have one, click apply for renunciation and apply for renunciation certificate. I have already made a separate video on how to apply for renunciation. So please refer to that video if you have any doubts. Next is proof of Indian origin. So since we are applying entry visa based on Indian origin, you have to provide proof of Indian origin. If your previous nationality is Indian, then you can provide your cancelled Indian passport as a proof of Indian origin, or if you are claiming your Indian origin based on parents, then you can provide parents Indian passport or parents OCA card. If you are claiming Indian origin based on your Indian spouse, then you have to provide a copy of marriage certificate along with copy of Indian passport of your spouse. Next is parental authorization form or parental contest form. So if you are filling this form for a minor applicant, then you have to fill this parental contest form, and this parental contest form has to be notarized. So this is the parental contest form. Both the parents has to fill this application form, and then this application form has to be notarized here. Do not sign the application form home, because some notary required signing the application form in front of them. Next is fee payment or courier. So if you have chosen VFS offered courier label and online payment, then you might have got an email receipt to the email ID we have mentioned. You have to take a printout of that email receipt and keep it along with your supporting document. This is the proof of your payment. Or if you have chosen money order or banker's check, you have to provide money order or banker's check along with the supporting document, and your money order or banker's check should be made in favor of VFS Inc. You have to write your application number in your money order or banker's check. Also, if you have chosen VFS offered courier label, then you don't have to worry about the written courier label. If you have chosen prepaid courier label, then you have to enclose one written courier label along with this application form. So I repeat again, if you have chosen VFS offered courier label and paid online, you only have to enclose the email copy of your payment confirmation. Otherwise, if you have chosen your own courier label, then you have to provide one written courier label along with the supporting documents. And if you have not chosen online payment, you have to provide either money order or banker's check for the payment. Next is this checklist. One copy of this checklist has to be enclosed with your application. So that's it. So once you have collected all the supporting documents, your step 4 is completed. You have to mail your package along with your original passport, application form and all the supporting documents to the VFS center with the VFS generated courier label or with your own courier label. Next is step 5. Step 5 is post receipt of your application. So if you have used VFS offered courier label, your application might reach VFS the very next day itself, because usually VFS offered courier labels are overnight shipping label. Or if you are using your prepaid courier label, you can track your prepaid courier label to track your application to see whether if it has reached VFS. So even if it has reached VFS the very next day, your application package will not be opened for at least 48 hours. It will be isolated because of COVID-19 restriction. So it will take 3 to 4 days for VFS staffs to open your application form. So please wait until you receive your notification from VFS at least for 3 to 4 days. Next is step 6. In step 6, we'll see how to track our application. So you will receive an email notification or SMS notification if you have opted for one regarding your status change. The first notification you will receive is that your application has reached VFS, and the second notification is they have started processing your application. Please wait until you receive second notification to track your application. So to track your application form, you can choose track now button and track your application form, and provide your application number and date of birth to track your application in VFS portal. You can also track your application in Indian visa portal. So to track your application in Indian visa portal, you have to click check your visa status link, and then provide your application number, passport number to track your application in Indian visa portal. You have to wait until your application reaches to embassy to track your application in Indian visa portal. Until then you can track your application in VFS portal. So that's it. I hope I have covered all the steps in this video to apply your entry visa. I'll repeat again, as I said, entry visa is only granted for 6 months or 1 year due to COVID restriction. They haven't opened 5-year or 10-year entry visa yet. So I hope this video is clear. If you have any other doubts, please leave in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you. Also, if you find this video helpful, please like and share the video. This will be helpful for others who are looking forward to apply entry visa. And also click the subscribe button and bell icon to receive notification from my channel immediately once I upload a new video. Thank you.